All praises to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Rakakodah. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of you elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, A Measure of Wheat for a Penny. Hyperinflation is coming to America. So this, a measure of wheat for a penny. I'm going to read the 5th and 6th verses of Revelation chapter 6. And this is, we're in the midst of it taking place now. This, mainly the 6th verse, but it's going to get worse. You're going to suffer under Biden's administration. You suffered inflation. Gas prices went up when Trump was president. The last couple of months before he was president and Biden came in, gas was $1.99, $1.98, $2, $2.05. When Biden came in, I believe starting at March, April or so, every time I turned around, every day, the gas prices went up 5 cents, 10 cents, another 10 cents, another 3 cents. Every day the gas price would go up. So it went from $2 to like $2.20 to $2.30 to $2.60 to $2.70 to $3 to $3.10 to $3.25. Then it went up to $4, and it was happening inside of a couple of and I guess a month. It went as high as some places. I believe California was like $6, $7, $8. I know in New York it went up to $5.50, $6. And a few months prior to that, gas was approximately $2 a gallon. That's what you call hyperinflation. Not inflation, hyperinflation. The food prices were going up, but not as dramatic as the gas prices. And it happened during Biden's administration. Now that Nero Trump is in his position, we're experiencing his, rule number 47, his administration. The tariffs, they're just kicking in, so people are feeling it. And they're raising prices, and they're how can I say, they're creating money out of thin air and making it circulate in the economy, which makes prices go up. Prices don't really go up. It's the value of the dollar that goes down. It loses value. And the average American, even educated Americans, don't understand this. But they know something's going on, and they are suffering buyer's remorse. The MAGA people, they put Trump in. It started with the Latin tribes, the Northern Kingdom, being kicked out, and you're happy for that. But now you notice when you go to the store, every time you go to the store, the prices keep going up. So this is the fulfillment of that found in Revelation 6 verse 5. Revelation 6 verse 7 and 8 goes into complete famine and destruction. And I'm not going to read all of this. I should, though. So let's go to the third seal. So we're in the third seal. So the headline is the third seal, and I'm going to show you something. Famine. And now you have these Edomites that are feeling like Negroes, getting the short end of the stick, and they're not liking it. Now you're beginning to realize and find out what it's like to walk around in our shoes, so to speak. We've been teaching this. We've been teaching that this place is going down. We've been teaching that there's going to be a thing called hyperinflation. So let's go to the 5th verse, Revelation 6, verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hands. What does that mean? Balance means justice, righteousness. It says in the 6th verse, and I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts, because when you read from the first verse down to the end, you know that there was 4 beasts mentioned in this chapter. Say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. The oil and the wine represents the truth. So this truth, Peter, upon this rock I shall build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Thou hurt not the oil and the wine. The oil and the wine represents this truth. So when we say Babylon the Great, the U.S. is going to be utterly destroyed by missiles, ICBM missiles, it's going to happen. When we say spaceships are coming down, which we call the chariots, and they're going to destroy this place and the Levant and deliver up the elect members of the Israelites. Only the Israelites will be delivered, beamed up. We said it, we've been saying it, and it's going to come to pass. So let me read that again, 6th verse, and I'm going to show you a little cut. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. A measure of wheat should cost you got a couple of dollars to get some wheat in a bag or whatever. A penny represents a day's wages in Rome of a Roman soldier, and they were getting paid good money, but they received a penny a day. Remember the parable of the penny? And some came in the first hour, others came in the 12th hour, and they got the same penny, which is a day's wages. Let me go ahead and open this up. Let's look up the word penny.
Strong's G 1220. Denarion. Denarion.
And that's Greek, and it goes back to the Latin word denarius, which is a day's labor, day's pay to a Roman soldier. And I believe it's going to say this. Denarius, containing 10, a Roman silver coin. In New Testament time, it took its name from it being equal to 10 asses, a number after 217 BC increased to 16. It was the principal silver coin of the Roman Empire. So when people got paid, let's say soldiers and so forth, they got paid in the form of denarius or denarii. From the parable of the laborer, and I mentioned that in the vineyard. Everybody got the same penny, whether the guy came in the first hour, he had to work the full 12, to the man that came in, the men that came in at the last hour, and they still got the same wage. So the ones that came in the first hour got mad. Well, that wage, that penny, is the kingdom of heaven, because we all going to equally get a part of the kingdom of heaven. It would seem that a denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wages. I'm not going to go into it, but I thought it was going to be here. You got a day's wages, you did good. You can eat good, you can take care of your family, you can grow a family. Let me just try something. I don't know what was going to happen. What was the wage of a Roman soldier? Let's see what comes up. Okay, so it says 225 denarii under Augustus, rising to 300 under the that. Now this was this was when Jake was ruling. I wanted to go far back as what was the wage? What was the wage of a Roman soldier in Jesus is time? So we're going back. Let me do it this way. The parable of the pennies during the time of Christ. There is no single universal parable of pennies. Okay. I don't know where I got this. I forgot where I got this. Roman soldiers got paid by denarius. Let's try it this way. Right, they're also paid in sacks of salt. That's where you get the word salary from. Roman soldiers were paid with silver and gold coins, such as denarii and sestertii, with deduction for food and gear, but also as a portion of their pay and occasionally as bonuses. The natives from the emperor. Pay was given in installments, then annually, or in 3 parts, but varied by emperor and rank. Right, the prices change. In latter periods, when coinage declined, soldiers received payments in kind, like salt or salary or other goods, along with or instead of money. So when you go back to a penny or pence, a Roman silver coin in the New Testament time, it took its name from it being equal to 10 asses, and or a number after 217 BC increased to 16. So it's based upon the 10. So with one of these, it says it was principal silver coin of the Roman Empire, from the parable of the laborers in the vineyard. It would seem that a denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wage. So with one denarius, you can live good. What they started doing was, in the Roman Empire, they started putting inferior metals in the coin. So the soldiers, when they went to buy things, they couldn't buy the things that they purchased maybe 3-4 years ago. So the kingdom started going down. So you can get an understanding. Let's go back. So this is nothing but hyperinflation. A measure of wheat for a day's wage. A measure of wheat or a bag of wheat to make bread was a day's wage. That's inflation or hyperinflation. And 3 measures of barley for a penny, a day's wage. But the oil and the wine is not going to be hurt. So now this is what I want to do. Give me a second. Let me go ahead and find it. Okay, give me a second here. Let me bring this all the way down. Okay, so I want you to listen to this. I'm gonna I don't want it high quality. Let's bring it down to here. This is fair use, fair use, fair use. And let's slow it down. Fair use, fair use, fair use. I want you to listen. And these Edomites are catching it.
Has the plot gone? We have lost it, folks. We have lost it. The American dream is dead. It is over. Gone and forgotten.
I am just now looking at the receipt from everything that I bought in California, because I had not noticed before that the taxes subtotal of, let me break it down for you guys, okay? I bought 3 things at Addicted. a skirt, and a necklace, $30.44.9. So my subtotal would have been $83. And then I was just looking at the taxes. There's a California state tax, 6% of $498. Fine. Then there's a California county tax, San Diego, 0.25%. Then there's another one that's California special tax, San Diego County district tax, fine, which is 0.5%, 41 cents. California special tax, San Diego.
It's not too bad, but what they're doing is nickel and diming you, and it's going to get worse. Because the federal government, they're the ones that the Congress can create this fiat money, and states can't create their own money. They deal with federal money. They deal with federal reserves. So the only thing they can do is raise the prices of tickets, raise the prices of taxes. Everything goes up.
Diego, whatever local, 0.83. 83 cents, which is like 1%. I knew that California had like the highest taxes and everything, but I didn't expect it to be like this much. I think Utah is about like 80% or something like that. So at the end of it, it's like not too much. But I understand why California living is hard. Like, I'm not complaining, okay? I know where our money goes to. But the difference is huge. But that's fine. It wasn't too much. I was just shocked. They're like, oh, so many.
If the price of shit don't go down, I'm about to start stealing again. I don't give a fuck. I said I was leaving that shit in 2022. But look, if y'all gonna keep making deodorant $15 fucking for a stick, I'm gonna just have to start sticking shit in my purse again. I don't care, because I can't go without deodorant, and y'all know y'all taxing for that shit. Like, come on now, something gotta give. Everything is just too fucking expensive for me. Every single thing. Like, it's to the point I be rationing out fucking deodorant. I'm only doing 2 swipes a day because I can't afford to do 3 or 4 swipes back and forth, because I'm gonna run out of deodorant too fucking fast. Toothpaste too. And the thing is, you can find cheap shit, but it ain't gonna hold you. I'm not about to buy no cheap ass deodorant and be musty as fuck all day. And I'm about to buy no cheap ass toilet tissue and that shit break while I'm wiping my ass. And I'm not about to buy no cheap ass toothpaste and my fucking breath be stinking after.
You can make your own you can make all these things yourself. You can make toothpaste and so forth.
I done brush my teeth. Like, y'all have to give. Like, and then it's like, if you do buy quality shit, it got poison in it, and the stuff that don't have the poison in it is too damn expensive for anybody to afford. Like, this shit is just beyond me. Like, I'm at the point, I'm either about to start stealing shit again, or I'm about to start making my own shit. Y'all, like, the economy gonna have to decide at this point.
If you're earning the most you've ever made and somehow feel the most broke you've ever been, you're not losing it. The math is. Somewhere between
bills just for like checkups, drop-in visits because my daycare requires a note from my doctor if she gets sick for her to come back. Each one of those visits is like $100. I'm paying for insurance. That's not even including what my husband pays for his insurance. I think he pays like $300. So really it's like $1,300. Not to mention the fact that yesterday I went to the dentist. I go to the dentist twice a year. I got a new dentist because I moved, and he does the x-rays, takes all the pictures and all that, tells me all of my fillings need to be replaced. Every single one, including the crown I have, needs to be replaced. $3,000. How are we affording this?
America's going to be the
Dentists are freaking expensive.
poorest country in the world starting now. You're going to see the biggest crashes happening right now. So that's good for me because the price of gold and silver go up.
That's interesting because most people in India until the
Now
last
listen to
decade.
this. Now listen to this. This gentleman from India, as soon as he made this statement, I'm going to pull it back. I thought of Isaiah chapter 13, and I'm going to read it.
You're going to see the biggest crashes happening right now. So that's good for me because the price of gold and silver go up.
That's interesting because most people in India until the last decade have been migrating to the US, thinking that that is where is the land of opportunity to pursue the great American dream. But over the last 2 years, we've seen an increasing number of people coming back in droves back to India because that's where they're seeing the opportunity. So that is a very interesting shift that I'd never thought would happen so quickly in my lifetime.
Americans are so.
So let's go to the scripture. I'm reading the King James, but I may even read it in the NLT. Revelation 13. Now what's the I believe the word country or land is in there. Let me put in the word land. Nope. I believe it's country. Let's try country. Okay, that's not it either. I'm sorry. I hate when you forget that when you have that, your mind don't work. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm actually in the wrong. How did that happen? Revelation. I'm sorry, Isaiah. Isaiah 13. Okay, let me do the land. I'm almost positive it's land. Okay, I found it. I believe this is in the 14th verse. Isaiah 13 verse 14. And it shall be as a chase roll and as a sheep that no man taketh up. That's like a road, somebody roadkill. Nobody takes it up and cooks it. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land. So you heard what the Indian individual said, right? Let's go ahead and like I said, that's the first precept that popped into my head. Isaiah 13 verse 14.
Crash is happening right now. So that's good for me because the price of gold and silver go up.
That's interesting because most people in India until the last decade have been migrating to the US, thinking that that is where is the land of opportunity to pursue the great American dream. But over the last 2 years, we've seen an increasing.
He said over the last 2 years, so we're talking 2023. Now you remember what happened in 2022, 2021, 2020, which a lot of middle class, they closed down. You have these, what was left during the midst of the sea ragamuffin. You could only go to these big box stores, these other mom and pop stores you couldn't go to. And you had to wear a mask, stand on long lines. The shelf, if you notice, the shelves started getting bare. Prior to that whole sea ragamuffin, any store that you went, the shelves were always full.
Number of people coming back in droves back to India because that's where they're seeing the opportunity. So that is a very interesting shift that I never thought would happen so quickly in my lifetime.
Americans are so broke and they don't even realize it. I always get Americans tell me, oh, people in Mexico only make $20 a day. You can get a full meal here for $2. The metro in Mexico City costs 5 pesos, which is like 25 cents. I can go to
I remember when it cost a nickel.
the market right now and buy 3 kilos of mangoes for like $2. Yeah, people make less money here, but the cost of living is also lower. Americans think that
That's the key. It's not what you make, it's what you bring home.
everywhere is like the US. Now, check this out. Let's say you live in the US and you make $3,500 a month after taxes. I'm being generous. Rent, $2,000. Car payment, $500. Car insurance, $200. Health insurance, $200. Phone bill, $100. Wi-Fi bill, $50. Light bill, $150. Water bill, $100. What's the point of making more money if you don't get to keep any of it? Who cares if you make $4,000 a month if you don't get to keep any of it?
$200 left. That's what you call.
What's the point?
What is that called? Net. Your net. You know your net. What's the term? Net income. Net income. Let me do this. Net worth. Net worth meaning net worth is the sum of your total assets, everything you own, minus your total liabilities, everything you owe. So every month or every week or whatever, you get a paycheck, you pay bills, and then what do you have left over? You may have $200, you may have $5. That's what net worth is. What exactly means net worth? Net worth. Net worth is a calculation of your total financial value at a given moment, determined by subtracting your total liabilities, your bills, what you owe, from your total assets, what you own. Assets include. So at the end of the day, when you pay your bills, how much money do you have left? What is the net worth of the black woman in America? I'm not going to read all this. I'm going right to the point. Pittsburgh Post Gazette, a study reporting a median net worth of just $5 for a single black woman and $100 for working age black women in general. So most black women, when they pay their bills, you know what they're left with? $5. So reporting a median, is it a median net worth for black women varies significantly by household. Study net worth of just $5 for single black woman. So you deal with a woman, she ain't got no kids, she's single, black woman, you go on a date. That's why they want you to pay their meals, because they ain't got no fucking money. And $100 for working age black women in general. So after they pay all their bills, whether it be bi-weekly, weekly or whatever, that's all they left with, $100. But most of them are left with $5. These figures highlight a significant racial wealth gap. A single white woman had a median net of 81,200 in the same 2022 study. So the Edomite woman, she makes way more than the so-called black woman. Like I said, so now when you take a woman out, she's a Jake, and she expects you to pay the bill, she's not going to say, I'll take it, because she ain't got it to give. Now, if you take certain women, black women, you take them out, you got to pay them. You got to do their nails, because a lot of them don't got no fucking money. Study finds median wealth for single black woman at $5. So what you need her for? You can do bad by yourself. So let's come on back over here.
Point of making.
That's why 7 women shall take hold of 1 man. 7 means completion. Gonna work together, gun
More
ho.
money if you don't get to keep any of it. Who cares if you make $4,000 a month if you don't get to keep any of it? 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and that includes half of 6-figure earners. 80% of you guys are in debt and don't own anything, and half.
Yeah, you idiots and the student that went to college. You can't afford to pay that debt, and you can't file for bankruptcy. Bankruptcy does not apply when it comes to student debt. Biden said he was gonna wave his magic wand over the debt, and it did not disappear. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Shalom, on to the next.